K-Rock, Mid-Atlantic Rock Reviews, Marmy Rock Show. No stranger to the rock show. We've got Dell from Dellacoma back on the show. Man, welcome back.
Thank you. Thanks for coming out tonight.
So, man, we were just talking. I haven't seen you, I don't think, since Rockfest, where I got this way cool, one of the more unusual concert shirts I've ever bought. So I love his shirt. So
it's gray. It's not black. That's what makes it unusual.
Great. So, hey, let's talk about the tour, man. You're out and about on tour right now, April through July. So tell folks a little bit more about it.
Well, we've got a run of 11 shows going up through the East Coast, across through upstate New York, Ohio, Wisconsin. Then we go back to Australia for a run of shows with the Bullet Boys. And then we're also going to do a run in Australia with another band that we can't officially announce yet, but they're from Sweden. They're coming out to tour Australia, and then after that, we come straight back over here, and we're going to do Florida, Texas, Colorado, Idaho, Vegas, that area, and then we're going to head back in the studio and hopefully finish the new record.
Now, you just kind of glanced over, like we go back to Australia. That's a long freaking trip all the way back there for a couple shows, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've made it a few times there,
yeah,
right?
I've definitely done it a few times. It's a lot closer for us than going to Europe, though. Europe for us is from Australia, like a 26-hour flight, whereas LA is only like 14 hours or something. So,
the lineup has changed a little bit since we last saw you. So I'm going to let you introduce folks to your lineup a little bit and tell folks about the new lineup.
Yep. Well, we've got Tommy Sunset from Melbourne on bass, and Jared Medwin, also from Melbourne, Australia, on drums, and Jason Todd from Jacksonville, Florida, on guitar.
So I see you're recording new music, and I think you're recording with this new lineup as well. So tell folks a little bit about where you're recording and who's doing your producing and all that good stuff.
Well, we're kind of doing Jason's doing a lot of the producing. He used to be in a band called Shinedown, and he was also in Fuel for a little while as well. So he's got a lot of experience.
I've heard of both of them.
in a lot of experience in the studio. So we're kind of doing. It's not. I wouldn't say it's fully self-produced. The engineer's got a lot of ideas in there and everything as well. But we're recording in Dark Horse Studio in Nashville, which is it's an incredible facility out like in Franklin, Tennessee. Like everything from like Taylor Swift to Korn to Red Hot Chili Peppers. Oh man, it's just incredible. It's like an old barn sort of stable house that's been converted, and it's just absolutely gorgeous.
Now, are you guys making a full-length album, or are you making an EP? What are you working on down there?
Well, the answer to your question is both. We can give you an exclusive here.
I love those.
Yeah, an exclusive. So what we're going to do, we've already recorded 3 new songs. The idea is we're going to bundle those together with some acoustic stuff and some live tracks and kind of put together a bit of an EP so that people can hear the new album. So we're working on a new record deal at the moment. And also with the lineup changes, it's kind of delayed a new album, but we don't want to rush the new album. So the idea is we can actually get an EP out within the sort of next month or so, month to 2 months, and then continue working on the album until it's done, but people can actually hear this lineup and actually hear some new material from us.
So if we come out to a live show and see you, are we going to hear the new material? So tonight, I haven't seen you in a little bit.
Absolutely. You're going to hear 2 songs that we recorded and a song that we didn't record.
Oh wow! So I saw you guys did a little acoustic thing, like where you previewed one of the new songs not too long ago. Is that one of the ones we're talking about?
Absolutely. That's one of the ones we recorded, and that'll be in the set list tonight as well.
Tell us a little bit about that song.
Well, Jason and I wrote that in about half an hour on my couch in Melbourne, Australia. And then it's currently only got a working title. It doesn't have a final title, but it's currently like a working title is Vampires, because when we were writing it, I don't know who said it, but somebody was like, it sounds a bit vampire-y. It has nothing to do with vampires, but it's just that vampire kind of song. So that's kind of what the working title of it is.
Now I'm doing my investigative reporting here. I saw some new merch that has like a Black Panther kind of thing on there. Does that have anything to do with the album or the concept or any of the titles or anything, or is it just a cool panther?
Yeah, well, it's a cool panther. It's a really cool panther.
You got me thinking when you said you didn't know the title yet, So I was
yeah. Well, no, it's the it's a cool design. It's a cool design. There's a lot of like symbolism with the Black Panther, but it was a cool design. It was designed by David Jordan, who does all of our graphic design. He's used to be the drummer in a band called Nasty Habit, which you might remember.
We know those guys.
Yeah. So he's been doing all my graphic design now for probably three years, I reckon.
Now, with the new music and the new writing team and all that, are we going to hear a shift in style of music at all, or compare it to the last record?
Yeah, sort of. I think that there's it's a bit more expansive, I feel like. The first record, I think if you were to take that and then add lighter stuff and heavier stuff and groovier stuff in the mix with all of that, like it's still going to fit in. The songs from the first record would still fit in with these new songs, but I think probably expansive is a better word, is a good word to use for the new stuff.
So I kind of wondered this. Have you reached the point now where you're bigger in the U.S. than you are in your home country, or are you still much bigger back at home?
No, I'd say I'm bigger here, I would think. Because, I mean, Australia, I don't play that much. And especially because, like, I'll get offers for shows. So my fan base in Australia, it's... Dellacoma as a band doesn't play that much, so a lot of times when I play, it's either like solo acoustic, or I might do a side project, or I do a lot of different things in Australia, whereas when I come to the US or to Europe, it's just Dellacoma.
So I was looking back at the last video, going back a little ways to moving on to something new. I think I'm going to ask this one more time, but I forgot the answer, so I'm always intrigued by that video. Tell me about that location.
You would not believe it, but it's in Kansas. It's in Kansas. It is the only place in Kansas that has sand, I think, and the only place in Kansas that's not flat. But we a producer called Rico looked at some of his stuff and really dug what he was doing, and contacted him and sent him the song. And he goes, "Man, there's this place in Kansas." He goes, "You're gonna have to trust me, but I think it would be perfect for this." He's describing it, and we are driving for like 2 hours outside of civilization, and it is just flat and green, and I'm like, I'm not seeing it. And then suddenly, it looks like, somebody just like burnt all the grass, and then, it's like a giant or like God or something, just picks up this mountain like there. Because and he was very skillful with his photography, but where we were looking, because we're looking towards the camera,
right,
it's just flat and green everywhere we can see. If we look behind us, it's sand and this like sort of mountainy thing. But we're looking ahead and it's just flat and green as far as the eye can see.
And then I gotta ask, was it hot or cold? Because for folks that haven't seen it, you're not wearing a shirt, but you're wearing a fur coat. So I gotta ask, is it hot or cold?
Well, if you've been to a show, I'm usually always sweaty. So yeah, it was the middle of summer. It was very hot, but that was a cool coat, so I had to wear it.
You've seen him wear a fur coat.
Yeah, I just had to ask,
Yeah. He had one in a very hot day.
So, as you look around the venue tonight, you've been known to do some kind of crazy things during a live show. Are you scoping out? Are you going to run around on the bar? Or what are you looking at tonight that you might run around and destroy?
Well, if I was to be like a sports analyst on my stage moves, I would say there will definitely be some outside action. I haven't sussed out the bartenders yet, because sometimes bartenders, you rope them into the show and you can just jump up on the bar and they're cool with it, and sometimes they're like, no. So I always find it better to ask for forgiveness than permission, but I got to get a right vibe off of them, whether they'll let me get up on the bar or whether they're going to kick me out.
Well, before I let you go, a couple quick things. There's a lot more tour dates left. Do you do any kind of VIP stuff or anything like that for folks? Tell folks about it and how they can get it.
Yeah, we do. We've got two fan clubs. So one's just a Facebook page that's run by a couple of fans out of Germany. Mm-hmm. It's just the Dellacoma fan club, and that's free for everyone. We've also got a sort of a crowdfunding one called Patreon, mm-hmm. and you can do everything from for $1 a month. You get access to any demos or updates and announcements ahead of time, all the way up to there's $7 options or $10 options a month, which come with different perks. We've actually, Philadelphia, we had a fan buy an option to have a private acoustic show. So this Sunday we're going to be going and doing a private acoustic show, barbecue with them, which is going to be really cool.
That's awesome.
Is this one of our friends?
Possibly, I don't know. Adrian,
Remember, I'm airing this.
I'm gonna.
Give her her home address, phone number, and what time the barbecue and the music starts.
Where my invite was.
Yeah.
Well, hey man, Del, it's always good talking to you. And you're one of those artists I keep finding like all around the country. It seems like no matter where we go in the country, like you're there at the same time we are. So it's always fun. So thanks for being here. And folks are looking for the new album real soon. The tour is doing real well, I'm sure. So go out there and kill it, man. Thanks again for being on the show.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for all your support, and thanks for listening.